winter. It has been bloody freezing and windy all week. And look at this. Look at this, the most gorgeous day of the year. You're truly blessed. I know, look. Yeah, I've got to tell you one little story. I tell too many, so I'm going to make it really quick. And I had this girl from Circus Oz. 12 metres off the ground on a rope as an aerialist. I said to young Anita, you need to get out there now because that sun's starting to set. The crane was over there, it was boomed out over there, and there was lots going on. But to make a long story short, she climbed the rope. She was as high as that telegraph pole off the ground. It came overcast, the sun was setting, and I just went, and I just did this 30.3 of a second prayer. Seriously, the clouds parted, and this amazing orange light came in horizontally and hit her like a gold logie. There's photos, I'll show you photos of the most memorable thing you've ever seen. It's not Piccolo Family Farm because it's a small farm. That's my name, I'm Peter Piccolo. Okay, and I've been here most of my life. All my kids were born here, and we're the second owners. First owners were Hugh and Lillis McGrath, returned First World War soldiers, got land in return for their services in the First World War. And they came here in 1919. The house was ready in 1920. Huey married Lillis Tresland from Dubbo, and they were here till I turned up. Huey passed away in 79, Lillis passed away in 86. It was mine after that. So I was truly blessed by being fortunate to have this amazing space. A lot has happened and changed over those years, but we'll talk about that later. I'm here to share my farm with you, share my family with you, share my dog Kia with you. She's the most amazing little Kelpie. And of course, you know, we've got the beautiful sun up there shining down on us, and we're going to have an amazing day. There's only one thing I ask you to do today. Relax.
Because they don't pick the grapes.
No.
And what about Peter's mum?
She's here?
There she is.
There she is.
Good.
She was making pasta last time, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
Everybody wanted to sit with us because neither of us drank, so good.
Like the last time. What about the lever park that you shared in drive so you don't have to go far?
Do some of your vlogs up here. Did you want to try?
One for the table.
Yeah, did you want to take one? Or? Yeah.
Okay, a couple of house rules. The shed just here, made out of railway sleepers, that's the toilet. There's only three, one of them's a disabled and two normal. There's a sign, men to the right, women to the left. The reason the men is to the right is that we sometimes get a couple of portaloos, or we point them to the forest, or to the veggie garden. If men are welcome to please not waste and water my trees. They love it. I've been doing it for a long time. But if you need to do the other, then just queue up behind the ladies. Okay, so that's the toilets. It's an interactive day. Interactive. So please don't wait to be served hand and foot. We're not interested. We're here to make you part of the family. You learn fast to look after yourself, trust me. So we have the bar on the left, our friends from Yenda. Yenda beer. Yenda is 15 kilometres that way. Part of the Casella family. The Casella family is three brothers. One of them is Joe. Joe is my neighbour. So when you came down the road, big house over there, the one that's smaller than mine. The garden shed, that is. That's Joe Casella. So Joe's great. And Johnny and Marcello, right? So we have Yenda beer. It's great. Local beer. Then we have some wines. I've got Callum. Callum's one of our boys from the restaurant. So Callum has a selection of wine. Take a bottle to the table, you're welcome. Take a glass, you're welcome. Empty the bottle, have another one. Don't mind, it's okay.
Lower it down and then we can share it
So,
around.
beer, wine. My daughter Elise wave. That's my daughter, Elise. She's bringing out the platters of antipasti. And there's plenty. So, minimal staff, family, and a few. Alright, so that's my daughter Elise. The boy with the shirt the same as mine. He's got the shovel. He's looking after the fire spit. We've got two pigs on the fire. That's the porchetta you're going to be having with the main. I know there's a couple that don't have that sort of thing, but we'll give you something else. That's not a problem. So that's Josh. Josh is the one with the green shirt. Doesn't look anything like me. So that's Josh. I've had her forever. When I have a domestic, I go and sleep with her. Trust me, it's cheaper. Okay, now who else? My wife? Rosa? Rosa. Oh, Rosa, wait. Rosa's up there with the tea towel on the table. Rosa on the other side of the fence with my granddaughter. So that's Rosa, she just waved. The little girl is Coco. Coco's my granddaughter. And the lady on the right waving there, that's my mum. Mum is 80. And she teaches my chefs who are supposed to be world acclaimed how to cook pasta. Pasta. No one does pasta as good as me. One person missing. One person missing. My son Luke. Now, if you don't know, my son Luke, he would like to give his apology for not being here today. It's not very often that he's not here. This farm is his life, as long as same with the rest of the family. But Luke has this amazing passion for wine and food. Behind us there is 3 acres of grapes going in. An acre of Montepulciano, an acre of Credito, and an acre of Fiano. A sweet white, a dry white, and a red. 3 acres, not for commercial production, but purely so we can have fun and make some wine that hopefully one day you return we can give to you and serve to you. So Luke has an amazing farm to plate experience in the form of Limoni, an amazing restaurant. So we're going to have our own homemade wine. And the little building that's getting built, well, that's where we're going to have fun. Okay? And the reason Luke is not here today, Luke is in the final 4 of the greatest hospitality award that any chef could ever win. So today and tomorrow, so today and tomorrow, Luke is in the final 4 of restaurateur, not chef. He's already done chef for you once. Not restaurant, we have a great restaurant, but restaurateur, which capsulates the whole essence of wine, food onto a plate. So Luke is in Sydney today, and the head judge is Guy Grossi. But I'm going to tell you a story later. Wine, make yourself at home, little Cocos. Say hello, right? Okay, so we'll chat a bit more about other things. In the meantime, just have a drink. I know you're a bit thirsty. Enjoy the antipasti. So Luke, as a kid, used to walk every day after school to my mum's place in North Griffith. That's my mum over there. So every day after school, Luke would go to Nornis. So he got the greatest education because mum is a typical peasant cook who can cook anything from anything. Okay, so when Luke decided that cooking's his life. He then was going to Wagga TAFE. They saw something special. They entered him in the Sydney Gala Food Festival, Young Chef competition. He was a kid, first year apprentice. He won it. The judge was Nino Zoccoli from Pendolino's in the Strand Arcade. Nino went up to Luke and said, I want you to move to Sydney and come and work for us at Pendolino's. Luke said, nice idea, but you need to talk to Dad. And so Nino rings me and said, I want your boy. Anyway, I said, but first you need to come and see what we do. You need to come and meet my family, get to know what we're about. And basically it's like asking for the hand of your daughter. That sort of thing, you know. So anyway, Luke eventually, he goes to Pendolino's. He goes in another cooking competition called Chiara, the Council for Italian Restaurants of Australia, second year apprentice. Anyway, he won it. That earned him a scholarship to go to Italy to study at the finest cooking school in Italy at Parma called Alma. Alma is Parma, north of Italy, and it was worth about $60,000. Plus, they gave him accommodation, they mentored him, and this is a school that you cannot buy a ticket. It's a selection process. So, I'll tell you how he got to win Chiara. He went up to Mario. Mario's a head chef. And he said to Mario, Nino wants me to go in this cooking competition. Luca, you need to understand. It is not about the food. It's about the passion. It's about the love. It's about the story. It's about the heart. First, I cannot help you. You need to go away and you need to find in your heart what you truly believe is what it's all about. But he said, Dad, I'm going in this cooking competition. I said, yeah. He said, I need you to help me. I said, yeah, what is it you want? He said, I need 6 pigeons. I said, what? 6 pigeons. He said, but they can't be just normal pigeons. He said, you need to go and see Nonna, and Nonna will tell you that Mrs. Batocchio at Yenda has pigeons. And Mrs. Batocchio said that you get the pigeons before they fly. So once they get feathers, as they're falling out of the nest, that's when you grab them. That's when they're the best. So I go to Mum. Mum takes me to Mrs. Batocchio. I go to Mrs. Batocchio. I said, my son Luke, he wants 6 pigeons. Hey, yeah, no worry. And as quick as a flash, and you see nothing like it, she grabs 6 pigeons, barehanded, and as quick as she grabbed them, she snapped their neck. Tipped them upside down and handed it to me with their feet. And she said, no, you stop out, stop. Tieno così, no, don't move, don't touch them, don't move. She made me hold these 6 pigeons. And she said, in Italian, we break the neck, we bleed them, but we don't let the blood go, so you need to hold them upside down. And they're straight out of the nest. So here I am driving one-handed, and with this hand holding 6 pigeons. And I don't know if you've ever done any work where you've had to hold something up. My shoulders were screaming. But Mrs. Batocchio said, don't put them down. Don't you put them down. You hold them until they finish bleeding. So I drove into town, holding 6 pigeons with my left hand, and trying to drive with just my right blinker, turn, brake. I finally get into town, and I tie a bit of string around their feet, and I put them straight in the cool room, and I hang them upside down overnight. I ring up Mum, and said, Mum, now what do I do? She said, we've got to get the feathers off, you know. So anyway, Mum comes around, we pluck them. But they've got them clean, but they're not gutted, they're not bled, they're intact, and they're upside down. So then I'm thinking, I rang Luke, I've got your pigeons. He's in Sydney, remember? Yeah, but that's no good, Dad, I need them here. How in the friggin' hell am I going to get these pigeons to Sydney? So I go down to the post office and I buy a 6-pack wine cooler. You know those wine coolers? They're styrene, 6 bottles of wine. So I go and get one of them and I put a pigeon in each hole. So I've got these pigeons upside down with their feet sticking out. in a 6-pack wine cooler box. So anyway, I'm thinking, how am I going to get them to Sydney? I can't send them on the post, can you imagine? And I'm thinking, plus they've got to stay upside down. So anyway, I thought, you know what? I've got an idea. I'm going to try my luck. And this is gospel. I go out to the airport, I go to Rex. Rex has got a flight to Sydney, and it's a small country town. I've been here all my life, I was born here, I know everybody. Surely to God, there's got to be somebody getting on that plane. So I've got this 6-pack cooler bag, and it doesn't look like other than a 6-pack cooler bag full of 6 bottles of wine, right? Shoulder bag. And I go up to this gorgeous friend of Elise, where's my daughter, Elise? She's gone. Elise's friend was going back to uni. So I went up to Elise's friend, and I said to her, I think her name was Kate, I was going to ask her name, Elise. I'm pretty sure her name was Kate, and I said, can you do me a huge favour? She said, sure. Can you take this to Sydney for Luke? And she said, wine. I went, sort of. It's a wine box. But I just went, yeah, sort of, no worries. She goes, yeah, I can do that. No worries. But when I get to Sydney, I said, look, it's okay. Luke's near the airport. I'll ring him up. I'll tell him to meet you at the plane. So anyway, she gets on the plane, carry-on luggage, with 6 bottles of sort of wine. Puts it in the overhead locker. And off to Sydney she goes on a Rex flight. She gets off the plane. I ring up Luke. Luke, you need to get your ass to the airport now. I said, you've got your 6-pack arriving at the airport in an hour and a half. And you need to meet her at the foyer. You understand? You got the gist? Straight to the airport. She gets off the plane, walks over. Luke goes over like, it's like smuggling drugs, you know what I mean? And grabs this bag, puts it on his shoulder, and she said, geez, Luke, you must be desperate. Wine from Griffith, and he goes, I'll tell you another day. So Luke walks into this cooking competition with 6 bottles of pigeon. And he opens up this, and he pulls out 6 pigeons. And he lands 6 pigeons on the bench. He pulled out a bag of polenta. He pulled out a bag of radici. And he pulled out a jar of reduced grape juice. Okay, so around here we grow a lot of grape. When they're harvesting grape, we steal the grape juice from the back of the tanker because we have to get it before it ferments. We take the grape juice home and we make what we call vino cotto. It's reduced grape juice, get 100% grape, reduce it to 20% just before the jam, and you make a syrup. And it's called vino cotto. It's very sweet grape juice. You put it on a very bitter lettuce like a radici, and it is from heaven. So, also he had some figs. So he had the pigeon, he had the figs, he had the polenta, he had the radici, and he did the reduced grape juice. To wind up his story, when he finished the dish, and for the whole time he's preparing this dish, the final dish was this. He had the guts, or the offal, or the organs of the pigeon. He kept it, and he cooked it up, and he made an umadum, the sauce. He had the chicken breast, dressed with the umadum, the offal of the pigeon. He put that on the polenta. The polenta is the sweepings from the corn mill that the peasant Italians used to take home after their shift at the flour mill. So they would pick up the sweepings from the corn mill and created semilia, which is created now polenta. Right, so the pigeon breast reduced the umador on the polenta. The radici grows wild around here. You can walk through my orchard and pick it. Very bitter. Smother it with the reduced grape juice, the sweet and the sour work. Pull the drumstick bone out of the thigh of the pigeon. Shove the little baby fig in there with the stalk sticking out. You have the pigeon with the umador, with the fig on the polenta, with the radici, with the reduced grape juice. The beauty about this dish is this. When he served the dish to Stefano Manfredi, Giovanni Pirlo, Alessandro Pavoni, Nino Zoccoli, the greatest Italian chefs this country has to offer, they were the judges of Chiara. It is the greatest cooking competition you'd ever imagine. When Luke put the dishes in front of the judges, he said, I give you a dish that costs nothing. My nonna told me no one needs to go hungry. Everything on this plate is for free. The pigeon flies freely. The radici grows wild as a weed. The reduced grape juice is the spillage from the back of the grape truck. The polenta is the sweepings from the cornmeal. The fig is from a tree that is a wild tree. It's not grafted. Okay? And hence you have this complete dish that is free. Stefano Manfredi cried. There were 6 other contestants. They all had $1 million budgets. On the night of the presentation, Rosa and I were still at home. I get a phone call from Nino Zocoli. Nino rings me at 4 p.m. He said, Peter, you need to get your ass to Sydney now. Now, you don't understand. You and Rosa have to come to Sydney now. Something incredible happened today. I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but tonight is the presentation. It's the big ceremony. Rosa and I weren't going. It was just another cooking competition. Nino said, no, you don't understand. Rosa and I drove to the airport in our work clothes, got on a standby, flew to Sydney, got a cab, went to Pillow at Freshwater. We got there in the nick of time. We sat down. After about 10 minutes, we got to hear Stefano Manfredi, who owns Butler at the Star Casino. He got up with tears flowing down his face. He said, today was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever witnessed. We had 6 of the greatest chefs this country can offer. 5 of them gave us the best of the best. But one was brave enough to give us a message of not to forget where we came from. And the simple things in life are usually the best. And it's all about this dish. And, you know, yeah. Hence, that's what got Luke through the door. Luke ended up in Italy, and he was there for a couple of years. He ended up in Sardinia. He was in a 2-star Michelin in Sardinia. He was in a little small farm, family, Giovanni, little small farm operation. And it was there he realised that what he was doing in Sardinia, he can do here. But the biggest difference was that here he has his family. So Luke rings me up, he said, Dad, I'm coming home. I panicked, because at the time, the big wigs in the industry weren't surviving too well. The #1 chef in the world had just committed suicide. It's very stressful at that level. Luke was at the highest level. Anyway, he said, no, Dad, I'm coming home. Here we are today. Unfortunately, Luke's not here, but I'm sure he's happy for me to tell the story.
Just slow down, everybody. There's more coming. Okay?
Don't be shy. Come over. So these 3 boys, these are Luke's 3 disciples. So, I'm going to go beyond. And I'm very bad with names, so I'm going to get a bit of a hand. But first of all, I'm going to start with Sadie. Sadie's of Indian descent, migrated to Australia with his family like us Italians. Came into the cafe one day with a normal day job, with a wife, with a family, and as a mature age adult said, I just love cooking. I just love cooking like I just love it. And I said to Luke, I've found #1. Sadie. Yeah, but Sadie, his family had to be supportive because he became a first-year apprentice on peanuts. You need to understand, a grown man with a family and a house, you know, the minimum award wage they told me on TV the other night was around the $800. Well, let me tell you, a first-year apprentice is about $300. Minimum wage doesn't work for apprenticeship, so I don't know if you know that. All right? So Sadie had to take a huge pay cut to follow his dream, but he did. He's now our head chef. Sadie's amazing. So he took the responsibility. He's been pooing his pants all week. Luke said, Sadie, you're it on Sunday. Okay, you can move over. So then there's Nick. Nick migrated to Griffith from Byron Bay. That's another country. So Nick comes from a great place of where foodies are real foodies. So Nick walks in, he's a foodie. His wife's a school teacher. Wife? No, partner. Fiance. Yeah. So she came to town to teach. You know, Nick came as number 2. Nick comes from Byron, where they're very passionate about the green grass of home sometimes. But anything organic works, and that works with us. Nick's been with us a year and a half. Yeah, so Nick's a year and a half now, just straight out of apprenticeship school, and once again, become a very, very important part of the team. Okay, now, this kid Liam's interesting. I love cycling. So I cycle on a Sunday morning. So I'm riding my bike on a Sunday morning, and I've got Frank, good friend of mine. Okay, so Frank's riding with me, and he goes, "Hey Peter, my cousin from Italy, did you know? Yeah, my cousin from Italy, he's coming to Australia. He's looking for a job." I said, "We don't need any more. We're pretty content." No, but he's good. He's good for you. Come on. Please give my cousin Frank a job. We said no. We were full. So poor old Liam, he went to the local club. Cardboard box food, we call it. Straight out of the cardboard box into a deep fryer, bush on the plate. Sorry, hoping no one here runs a club, but it's good and cheap and it's handy and it's usually fresh, straight out of the freezer. But guess what? We got created some momentum. The restaurant got a bit busier. Luke needed number 3. 1, 2. Guess who turns up? Remember me? But led by a great captain. Okay, so big hand for these 3 boys. They did your lunch. So we have an Indian, an Aussie, and an Italian. Hey boys, you're movie stars now.
Great job.
Thank you.
Hold on, lad.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Yeah, sure.
Cherries, but have a look at this. What a day to finish our trip on. Almost. We've got one more day to go, but gee whiz. How do we beat this? So for Peter, we haven't got your son, but we got you. And we probably would not have heard the stories if he was here that you've given us. So you and your family, well, I want 3 cheers. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Thanks, Peter, and your family, and your chefs. What a fabulous day. Thank you.
A bit of a hood, hair down to my elbows, okay, and I decide that Rosa is the girl for me. I'm 17, going on 18, still together at 19. And then, come over here. No, come on. I'm hitting 20. I decide I'm going to do it. Come over here. Come here. I'm going to do it. So, I'm going to do it. So I go up to Bert Lorenzi, which is Rosa's dad, old Bert, little Italian man, and I asked him if I could marry his daughter. And he goes... Anyway, he laid down the law. Unless I behave, knuckle down, work hard, and... No. Well, he didn't get that. I've had the hair ever since. But he said to me in Italian, "Si compra una casa, una famiglia alla casa." You need a house. Out of the house, you make it a home, and that's where you'll have your family. And unless that's the deal, via. And I did. I worked my bum off, and Rosa joined me, and we worked 3 jobs, 7 days a week, for a couple of years, and we bought our first home. And we were just kids. And out of that home, we had children, and now children have got grandchildren. And so probably the message is, make your house your home. Yeah. Hey, Mum, come on, one more. I want a photo. This is my mum. Dennis is the one with the checkered flannel shirt.
He's the one that's been roasting chestnuts. Okay, so just a few of you were here a couple of years ago, and I must have been on one of those emotional moments when I told you a little bit about my life. I'm not going to go there today, I promise you, but we don't. But basically, Dennis. Okay. Okay, so Mum, migrant Italian, she basically raised a family on her own. Okay, so Dennis became the father I never had. So Dennis. So I've been with Rosa for 40 odd years. More, 44, 40, 45. 45 years I've been with Rosa. Well, Dennis, he's Rosa's oldest brother. He's been like my father for 45 years. Trust me. And that's Jeanette. Jeanette's Dennis's daughter. And that's Hazel. God love her. That's it. And we're going to do what do they call it? A Photoshop? Photoshop. With Luke. We're going to put him down here. So pretend this is Luke. Okay. On behalf of my family, thanks for coming. And we hope to see you again.